I'm doing a house tour of this apartment and I want you to come with me to the bathroom where I show you the shower first because it is the best attraction of the whole place. Welcome to Cinema Society Saturday, where we review a horror film that fits this week's theme. This theme is Check This One Out. I was assigned with Professor Kimber, who I recommend giving a follow. She talks about horror content, she talks about fashion content, and she even recently did a video where she talked about SpongeBob. Gave me Psycho, which is a horror film about a woman who's on the run that came across a motel proprietor and his disturbed mother, which caused her sister to find her. I remember watching this back in high school when I was trying to get into horror films and the classic films such as this that I remember absolutely loving. Which is what I expect from director Alfred Hitchcock, who's known for making meticulous films that remain to be classic to this day. So it did got me relatively excited to want to revisit this movie after many years, and as is, this is still kind of an amazing movie that is now my favorite film from Cinema Society Saturday. Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates is fantastic, that I can definitely understand why people still love him to this day, as he has some form of socially awkward moments but remain to keep it professional when running the motel, while also trying to make sure that his mom is in good hands. There were some moments where he has conversation with Marion Crane that does come across as a little bit unsettling, despite the fact he has such fascination with his hobby as a taxidermist. There's some amazing cinematography throughout this movie that you can definitely tell that Alfred Hitchcock really wants to be a perfectionist when it comes to getting the shots right, while also showing a lot of impressive cinematography when it comes to building up suspense and shock and terror. The score by Bernard Herrmann is amazing, that has so many classic songs that at first I thought it was going to be too much of it playing the same song, but luckily once I started to think that, it takes a step back and gives me something completely different that I also love as well. The shower scene is a complete classic that I love, that the movie takes a very creative approach in the middle of the film and makes it completely different. But I also love the staircase scene where it has such great cinematography and a good jump scare that I'm sure for people who have seen this movie for the first time, they'll be like, whoa, what the heck? Probably one of my favorite scenes of the movie that Alfred Hitchcock didn't really like himself is the psychiatrist scene. Simon Oakland is fantastic as a psychiatrist, and the scene is very well done in terms of how well written it is, that gives us some explanation about Norman Bates, while also keeping it broad for modern sensibilities that doesn't get very clear enough in terms of what he has himself. I do like that this scene also brings up another topic that could easily been very insulting in terms of a certain demographic, but the psychiatrist was basically telling them that's not the case. I really enjoy how careful this scene is in terms of examining someone, that a lot of classic films nowadays don't try to be this meticulous or this extensive. Despite some moments that do feel a little dated towards the acting and some sound effects that definitely felt like that at that time, Psycho still remains to be a classic film that is kind of excellently done that I love seeing. I give this film a 9 out of 10.